If you're looking to make solar simple, give Ron Domenico with AD Energy a call. All-day energy made simple. Solar solutions with zero down, options to lease or finance, and roofs and trees are no issue. Call Ron Domenico at 609-226-2802 and tell him you saw him on the Sports Box.
Well, hello again, and welcome to the show that doesn't need butter, it just tastes great. This is the Sports Box, where only opinion that matters is right here. I am Mike Velardi, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, the Ranger. What's up, Brian? Still smells like draft week.
It's a golden time for the Sports Box.
Oh, anyway, today we are going to talk about, finish out the other side of the expansion draft where we think people are going, the Western Conference. Let's start it off, Brian. Kick it up. Let's get this Golden Knight draft
So
going.
let's go head over to the Central Division and go towards those Chicago Blackhawks. Now, Mike, this is a team that I don't know if they're going to make a deal here to make sure that they, send to Vegas who they want. But they got some salary here that I know that they would love Vegas to take off their hands. The guy who I think it's really a couple of names that could go. It's either Trevor Van Riemsdyk or my pick, which is Marcus Kruger.
I think Kruger's going to go as well.
Marcus Kruger, 27-year-old guy making just over $3 million for the next 2 years, would give Chicago a little bit of salary cap leeway and some space. But he's a guy that I think could play in your second line potentially for this team, maybe even your first line, depending on how you break it out. Pedigree, obviously, he's won a Stanley Cup, so I do like Marcus Kruger coming out of Chicago.
I agree with you. Kruger's the pick.
Next up's Colorado. Unfortunately, the downside here for Vegas is they got to pick somebody out of Colorado.
Hold on, wait. I just threw up my mouth. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This pile of slop right here is who's available.
It's so freaking bad.
So no good. The name that I think they're going to want to go with is Mikhail Grigorenko, guy who was picked by Buffalo, went in that really big Ryan O'Reilly trade. It's a forward. I think he's got some untapped potential that might, Colorado sucks. I don't really have any other way to say it here. Worst team in the league by a country mile. They didn't get the first overall pick, too. Imagine that. I think Grigorenko is going to be their pick here. Money-wise, he is a restricted free agent, but he's still young. I don't think it's going to be much of a problem there.
I think the guys are hoping they get picked off the Colorado team. I don't think it's a matter.
Some teams they don't want to go.
The whole team is like
pushing each other to get out and get
banners up and all this all goes. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Dallas. Dallas has some guys here.
5 goalies.
They got a lot of goalies to be available here.
And we talked about it on our show.
A lot, yeah. No Latin, no the Emmy. That's going to be up on Dallas to figure that part of it out. But they got they got a nice mix here that I think that the Vegas Knights could choose from. Whether it's a guy like Hemsky or Hoodler, Cody Eakin is a name I think is very popular. People think. For me, the guy who I think is just a slam dunk pick is Jamie Alexiak. Jamie Alexiak is a very, very tall defenseman, still very young. He is also 24 years old. He is a restricted free agent, but again, they're building up a system here in Vegas. He's a guy with a lot of pedigree. Tall as the day is long. He's got size. You can't teach that. So I think Alexiak's a nice pick here.
So Dallas has $14 million signed up in there and 5 goalies. Think they're hoping that AM can go, or
this is horrific asset management.
That's
horrific asset management. Now,
moving on to the Wild.
Minnesota. They're going to be one of the teams I think gets hurt the most by this draft.
Yeah.
They're going to lose somebody
that they need.
And I'm actually very, very, very surprised that one, we haven't heard about like a side deal yet, like a first round pick or something.
Yeah.
But B, how do you not trade some of these guys prior? You can't protect them all. They're in very, very high likelihood of losing an excellent defenseman, whether it's Marco Scandella or who I think is Matt Dumba. This is a guy that's going to be a first pairing defenseman for the Golden Knights.
I think it could be Scandella, but that could be a pick.
I can't fight you on that. I could see that too. I could see maybe an Eric Howla or maybe even an Eric Stahl, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
Up there in age, not a lot to build around.
Yeah.
You look at a guy, Matt Dumba. Matt Dumba is just. I can't believe that he's going to be available. I can't.
Believe it.
I have to. So Matt Dumba is the pick there. Matt Dumba is only 22 years old.
22, yeah. Let's talk about...
He's a guy who would have loved to come to the Rangers. Hey, George McPhee, give Jeff Gordon a call.
Let's talk about those runners-up in the Stanley Cup who nobody ever thought was going to get there. Those Nashville Predators.
Another team getting destroyed by this.
Yeah.
So...
And we agree on both the same guy.
Yeah, I think, again, remember, salary cap comes into play. James Neal, who, if you remember, the Stanley Cup winning goal was scored by Patrick Hornqvist, who was traded from Nashville to Pittsburgh for James Neal. So he's going to be moving on. James Neal's got 1 year left at $5 million, plays both sides on the wings, 29 years old.
And they have some good talent on this team.
They do.
They're even unprotecting their captain, Mike Fisher.
What are you going to do?
I'd still take James.
It's between a rock and a hard place for Nashville, but I think that is what it is.
Yeah.
I think James Neal becomes one of the offensive centerpieces.
Yep.
For this new team for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep on going.
St. Louis Blues.
The St. Louis Blues. Now, they would love it if Yuri Laterra was taken. He's a guy who they brought in who has not really materialized at all. You could maybe see a guy like Neil Yakupov, who's now been around the league. I think an interesting pick to me is David Perron. David Perron, 29 years old, got 1 year left on his deal at just under $4 million. But again, they got to spend some money here. Plays both sides, plays either wing. I think it'd be a nice pickup to play either first or second line wing for the Knights. I think he's definitely somebody who they should be looking at.
I agree.
Out of St. Louis.
You do have veteran like Scotty Upshaw there, but again, this team doesn't need veterans at this point. They got their veterans locked up. We talked about that in the Eastern show. So yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely.
Finishing off the Central Division with the Winnipeg Jets. Now, the Winnipeg Jets were one of the only two teams to have a guy.
Does anybody party in Winnipeg or? Is there anything to do in Winnipeg?
It's cold. You can go skiing. You throw snow.
It's one of the highest crime rates in Canada, by the way. Anyway, go on.
Boredom, right?
Yeah.
So Toby Enstrom waived his no movement clause to allow them to protect other players, which they're very thankful for. But I don't think it really matters. Yeah. To me, the name that really stands out to me from Winnipeg is Marco Dano. Marco Dano's been traded around the league a couple times now. It has nothing to do with Marco Dano.
Yep.
He went from Chicago to Columbus, now to Winnipeg. Listen. Actually, it went from Columbus to Chicago to Winnipeg. Either way, the guy's been around the block. But, Marco Dano, he's only 22 years of age, got one more deal left, plays every offensive position. To me, I think is, again, when you're building with youth, it's a nice addition. A nice addition, a former first-round pick.
I am surprised they're moving on from the Pavlik expansion from as a goalie. But you know what? They're not getting a job done with him. So, why not blow the team up? Nothing to do in Winnipeg anymore.
Absolutely.
Except drink.
That's the end of our Central Division. We'll take a second here to recognize our sponsor before we head over to the Pacific. If you're looking to buy, sell, or rent in the South Jersey area, give Dave Birbaum a call with RE/MAX Community, 856-524-2927, and buy with Burn. And we are back. So, let's go to the Pacific, the home division of the new Vegas Golden Knights. And we're going to start with Anaheim. Now, Mike, Anaheim's made a deal. This is very widely known.
Yep.
This is probably going to be Sammy Vatanen.
Yep.
Leaving Anaheim to go to the Vegas Golden Knights. I got to tell you, hell of a pick. And there's some options here, so I understand why Vegas did this.
Yep.
Or I should say why Anaheim did this. Again, Vatanen's a guy who could be a power play quarterback, going to be in your top four for sure. Nice little pickup for them. He's got 3 years left at just under $5 million, so he gives you a little bit of money against that number as well. Slam dunk pick. I can't even. What are you going to do? Arizona's got a couple guys here. They probably would love Jamie McBain to get taken.
And Arizona, by the way, just unloaded Michael Smith up the Calgary.
Yep.
So long time Coyote who's stuck it out for all these years off the Calgary. So sorry.
And that's okay. RFA Alex Burmistrov, former pick of the Jets.
Yep.
Actually, it was a former pick of the Atlanta Thrashers, who became the Jets. Again, offensive pedigree, hasn't really seen his career blossom too much at the NHL level, but he's only 25. So again, you're looking for some youth there. There's not a lot of other names that really stand out to you from Arizona. I think that's the easy pick for them.
Absolutely.
Calgary, aforementioned. So they got some goalies available.
Brian Elliott. They did protect Michael Smith, by the way.
Well, they had to. They traded for him.
I'm just kidding.
Brian Elliott's available. I don't think anybody cares. Alex Chason.
So am I. Available.
Alex Chason.
Right. Sorry.
Are you
I'm good too. I got some skills. I got mad glove hand. Go ahead.
Alex Chason. He's been around the block as well. Dallas, been to Ottawa. Again, he's a guy who's still young of age. He's only 26. Got a lot of runway left on his career, but he's a guy who definitely could be a depth player for you.
Yep.
Not a lot else available from that team. So.
Is Johnny Gaudreau available?
He is not. They protected him.
Damn. Damn. Why you protect a guy like that?
I cannot believe.
I can't believe that. New Jersey's own Johnny Gaudreau.
Edmonton. caused a bit of a Twitter controversy this week through no fault of their own, because as we're finding out, nobody has a clue how this thing works. The expansion draft. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, they didn't protect McDavid."
They haven't had expansion draft in a while now. So.
All right, so Edmonton hasn't really left a lot on the table here because they're a very young team. They got a lot of guys who were exempt. Connor McDavid.
Got a lot of good talent though.
Guys that you can work with.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But to me, the interesting name there, and I might be in the minority with this, is Griffin Reinhart. Griffin Reinhart was originally a very, very high pick of the Islanders.
Yep.
I believe he was 4th overall. Got traded in a deal last year to go to Edmonton. He hasn't really been given a fair shake, I think, anywhere he's been. Again, still very young, 23 years old. You can't give up on these guys so early, especially on defense. Defense takes a couple more years to really get your feet wet and ready to go. He's a guy, again, young player. He can be there for you at some point. I think of the guys at Edmonton, if it's not Tyler Pitlick, who I'm not really in love with, I think that's the pick for me.
Okay. I like Mark Fane a little bit too, but that's fine.
He's been around. But again, leadership too, I see that.
Yep.
Los Angeles. So, Los Angeles. They would love it if Dustin Brown or Marian Gaborik got picked.
and kind of Ginla too, but I don't think Ginla's not that much money anymore. So
the guy who really stands out to me here is Braden McNabb. Braden McNabb came over here in a deal with Buffalo a couple of years ago. He is a player who is only 26 years of age, defenseman, got one more year left on his deal before another, going to be UFA after that. But again, you're building your depth out. From the guys the Kings have, from a cost-effective standpoint, I think he is fits like a glove for this Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Okay.
That he does.
Let's go.
San Jose. San Jose. Wouldn't it be funny if they took Patrick Marleau?
That's the same thing.
Joe Thornton?
Yeah, no. Right.
Some would say maybe a Paul Martin, maybe a David Schlemko. I understand that, but the way that our draft kind of played out, they had enough defensemen. So I think interesting here would be Michael Bodker. Now, Michael Bodker's got 3 years left on a $4 million a year deal. He didn't have that great of a year last year in San Jose, but I think he could play a prominent role in Vegas, which he doesn't really play a prominent role in San Jose.
Right.
So I think that would be interesting. Again, you got to spend some money here. He gives you $4 million a year for 3 years. I think that's an interesting pickup for San Jose. And then last, but certainly not least,
those Canuckies.
The Vancouver Canucks. So, unfortunately, they got to take somebody, Mike. They got to take somebody. There is some slop.
Yeah,
slop!
When Luongo left, everybody felt suit.
Man!
Just bailed out of there in a heartbeat.
The only guy who I think is worth taking here is Lucas Biza. You should know who Lucas Biza is. Lucas Biza, former pick.
Ex-Flyer.
He's been around. I think he was traded for Toronto.
He was,
right?
Yeah.
So he's been around a little bit. Again, another young defenseman. Not how young
29 years old.
Yeah, I guess time flies, right? 27. So, again, of this group, there's not really a lot there. Former Ranger Derek Dorset's probably not going to get taken by anybody. So, to me, I think definitely you take a look at a guy of Biza's character. I think it's a nice pick.
Absolutely.
And that, my friends,
that rounds out the expansion.
Is your first year playoff-bound Vegas Golden Knights. I'm on record. If that's the team they take, that's a playoff team.
Did he say playoff team?
Yeah. That's a playoff. Why not?
It's a good team. I don't think they're playoff.
But remember, the NHL set this up for this team to be very good very quickly.
Absolutely.
So I would be surprised at that.
No, I wouldn't be stunned. I just don't think they're a playoff team right now. Maybe next year, yeah.
Well, the story's going to be what they do with these players. Who they flip back and forth. Okay. So I'm gonna make a proposal for you, okay, Mr. Flyer fan. If I'm the Flyers, right, I call up George McPhee and say, hey, listen, go take Peter Mrazek from Detroit, and we'll give you our second-round pick for him.
Could be. Yep, that'd be a good move. I like it.
You got all their goalies. You don't need Mrazek if you're going to play Fleury.
Yep. But the Flyers have bigger fish to fry because they're not going to do that, and they're not going to have another goalie for another year or so. We'll get into that in another episode. I'm sure Brian will get angry and throw some more Flyers hateful stats at me. That's fine.
Well, at least
it's all good.
You'll probably throw something tangible, like my iPad.
That could be. Anyway, thank you for watching. We appreciate cleaning up the LA. Why do I keep saying LA?
Because you want to go to California.
Las Vegas Golden Knights expansion draft for their first year in the league, folks, 2017. God, remember, please, you can always get us to social media if you need to.
Draft coverage, basketball, hockey, cricket, whatever.
I can't wait for cricket.
Make sure you're following us. Listen, we're everywhere. The YouTube channel, if you're not yet subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for, but you're going to have the opportunity with a free money-back guarantee. Hit the logo right here at the end of the show. Subscribe right there. Twitter and Facebook, both at Sportsbox Show. Listen, we're doing this for you. Follow us, man. Come on now. Listen here, meow.
And remember, we love you here at the Sports Box. Make sure when you subscribe, you hit that little bell. You get our alerts. You get all our fresh content right away, and you'll know. But always remember at the Sports Box, the only opinion that matters is right here. Thanks for watching, folks. See you.
This episode of the Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velardi. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on the Sports Box.
1, 2, 3.
Don't forget to subscribe.